So the phone to beat this year when it comes down to camera is the S21 Ultra. Today we got the OnePlus 9 Pro. We're gonna put them head to head. We're gonna look at some pictures, see who takes the crown. We know that the S21 beat out the iPhone. Can the new kid on the block beat the S21? We're gonna find out. Stay tuned. Alright guys, but before we start the video, we have a new lighting set up here in the studio, new camera angle. Let me know what you guys think, comment down below. Let me know if it's good, let me know if you like the other one so we can kind of adjust it. I'm trying new things out, trying to keep it fresh, keep it new. So let's dive right in, guys. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna see on your side. You're gonna see the OnePlus 9 Pro is gonna be on your left, the S21 is gonna be on your right. We're gonna go over all the images that I took. I took also some videos. I tried to take some 8K and put it on, but my computer did not have it at all. I thought it was gonna blow up. So we're not gonna have any 8K, but I will go over the 8K in detail. We'll just talk about it. But diving right into the pictures, guys. First picture you're gonna see right here. This was in Miami. We went down, took some pictures in the design district. This was a pretty cool little hallway. I mean, looking right into it, the colors look really different. I mean, the OnePlus 9 Pro is taking out a whole different color compared to the Ultra. We know that the Hasselblad partnership, colors what they focused on. And to be honest, looking at the colors, just look at the floor is what really stands out to me. The OnePlus looks a lot nicer. It just looks better in the eye. The floor looks like more realistic than the actual Samsung does. So I'm gonna give this one to the OnePlus. I think the OnePlus took it on this one. Coming into this next picture, this was like this little, 3D thing that they had going on there. Now this one is a whole different ball game. Looking at this picture, I mean, I zoomed in, I looked at everything and it looks pretty much the same. The only thing I can tell you that looks a little bit different is if you focus on the circle, the big circle on the top, if you look inside of it, on the OnePlus, you can actually see these little water spots that have collected on the top glass. On the S21, you can see them, but not as detailed. So I think they're very similar on this one, but again, aesthetic pleasing, like looking at it right away, which one I'm gonna choose, I think the OnePlus is gonna win it on this one as well, guys. And then we took a little wide picture here. This was a pretty cool picture because you're looking through, the light is right on top of us, facing us. Towards the right of the image, you see a lot of different colors of the graffiti on the wall. But looking into it, I like the color better on the OnePlus. When you look at the little smiley face in the bottom and the little hearts on the top, the color looks much better, doesn't look as pungy as the S21. But then again, that all goes to the preference. But the main deal on this picture that I'm gonna tell you is if you look at like the wood of the beam, the wood looks much more sharper on the S21 Ultra. So does the floor. You tell more of the details on the break on the floor. So this one definitely goes to the Ultra. Has way more detail in this picture, but both very good pictures. This is a night picture I took outside my house. It is lit, but I did the night mode just to see what it kind of does with the lights. Both pictures look very nice. To me, I think the OnePlus looks a little washed out here when it comes down to as far as colors go. The Ultra, again, looking at the bricks on the bottom, it looks a little bit more sharper. You get a little more detail when it comes to the actual image. So to me, it looks better on the S21. I keep saying OnePlus. It looks better on the S21 Ultra. That is a much better pleasing image. Then now we went outside. And then here we took a night picture. The S21 Ultra here did a 2-second shutter. The OnePlus doesn't really tell you, it just takes a night picture. But looking at this image, I'll tell you that the OnePlus looks much more realistic, much more like what your eye looks like when you're looking outside. So definitely the OnePlus, look at the sky, you still get color in the sky. The trees, you can see the trees a little bit more detailed, and definitely the ground. The ground looks exactly like what the color of the cement does on the OnePlus. The S21 Ultra is getting kind of that yellowish hue from the actual light, from the street light. So I'll give that one to the OnePlus. Now we're moving on to some selfies. I had to do the selfies to see. This is both the regular selfie camera. Looking at them both, the S21 Ultra looks a lot sharper when it comes to selfies. I mean, hands down, looking at the beard hair, the mustache, the skin texture looks a lot sharper. The OnePlus looks a little bit whiter, like it needs a little bit more color, but of course that's what they're working on with Hasselblad, is not having such punchy colors, but more realistic colors. But again, this picture, what I'm gonna give it to is the S21 Ultra. I think the picture looks a lot better when it comes down to sharpness, and the color does look a lot better here. Then here we did a portrait selfie. I wanted to see what this comes out. A lot of people have been complaining about the OnePlus 9 portrait. So I did this shot. It doesn't look bad, but again, way more detail when it comes down to the picture on the S21 Ultra. The OnePlus 9 doesn't look bad by any means, but the S21 Ultra gets a little bit better when it comes down to the dynamic range. If you look at the hair, you see more hair strands than you do on the OnePlus 9 Pro because it just kind of like darkens it out. So definitely, again, S21 Ultra, hands down, wins this picture. Now this is an ultra wide picture I took in the streets, just so we see how the ultra wide works on both of these. And to be honest, they both look very, very, very good. I can't complain as far as either image. I mean, the colors of the leaves of the tree, the sky, the bulb in the middle, whatever that thing is, it looks amazing. The one thing that I will tell you, if you look on the right of the screen, looking at the palm trees, and then there's a lady behind it, the palm trees towards the bottom, you can see more detail when it comes down to the tree on the S21 Ultra. On the 9 Pro, you see more, it's darker. And then also on the lady's dress behind, you see more of her legs that you do on the 9 Pro. So it's more of a, how do I say it, like which one you like better is more, it's not that which one is actually better. To be honest, I don't choose one of them. They both look great. They both have amazing color to it. So it's based on your preference when it comes down to this one. Me, if we're talking about me, I like that it's a little bit darker on the OnePlus 9 Pro because I like more dynamic range. So not everything has to be super sharp and everything has to be super well lit. You want to see that dynamic range so you can kind of see the space in between things. So I'm going to give this one myself to the OnePlus 9 Pro. I like the image a little bit better. This is also another ultra wide picture that I took. Telling you right off the bat, they both look amazing. I have no complaints. I literally spent like 5 to 10 minutes trying to zoom in and trying to pick here and there to see which one looks better. And it's very hard. The colors look great. The sky looks great. There's no distortion when looking at the OnePlus 9 Pro because of the lens that they have that fixes a distortion. You see a little bit of distortion on the S21, but it's not bad. Where I will tell you that I do see a huge difference in the color is if you look at the floor, at the cement, on the OnePlus 9 Pro, the OnePlus 9 Pro, it looks much more realistic. It looks like the color of cement. On the S21 Ultra, it has like a little like yellowish hue, and I don't know if it's from the steps on the bottom, but it has a hue on it and it doesn't have it on the OnePlus. So on this one, I'm gonna give it to the OnePlus. I think it's a much more pleasing image. Then I did a zoom. Unfortunately, the zoom on the S21 is a lot better than what you're gonna get on the OnePlus 9 Pro. So I stuck it to the same. The OnePlus 9 Pro does 3.3. So I did a 3x zoom on the S21 Ultra to kind of compare apples to apples. And if you just look at the Sunoco sign, I'm telling you right off the bat, and you can see it yourself, the OnePlus 9 Pro looks a lot better. The sign looks brighter, the sign looks sharper. It looks a lot better when it comes down to the sign. Now, look at the background, the wood in the background of the Arc. You can tell way much more detail on the S21 Ultra than you can tell on the OnePlus 9 Pro, which is kind of weird because the main focus is at the middle and one does better than the other. And this is where you kind of sit and say they're both very good cameras, so it's kind of hard that, you know, some is better in others, some is better in something else. But this picture, I will give it to the S21 Ultra because, yeah, the Sunoco sign's darker. I can bring up those shadows, brighten it up a bit, and I still have a lot of information to work with because it's sharper than what the OnePlus 9 Pro is. Then here, what you're looking at, this is a selfie video. Hands down, automatically, it's going to the S21 Ultra. It can shoot 4K in the front-facing camera. The OnePlus 9 Pro only shoots 1080p. I think that's horrible that it does that, especially in the times that we're in today, and the fact that every phone pretty much has 4K in the front-face camera. So S21 Ultra, you get the crown on that one. And then when it goes down to video, it's a hit or miss. The videos here, if you look at these videos, they both look very good. They both have great dynamic range, great color, great sharpness. Now, the one thing that I'm gonna tell you is obviously the S21 only does 4K at 60 frames, and then the OnePlus 9 does 4K at 120. So the OnePlus 9 is gonna look a lot smoother when you're panning. As you can see in the video, it looks a whole lot smoother. Also, when you slow down that 120 frame, you can get some really good slow motion because you have more frames to work with. So when it comes down to that, also, if you look at this video, this first video that we're looking at here, just looking at the end of the video, if you just look at that portion, the sky is in detail, the lake, the water, the grass, it just looks better when it comes down to the OnePlus. So I'll give that video, the 4K video, to the OnePlus. Here's another 4K video again, same issue. We have 120 and we have 60 frames. This one is me walking. Now the only difference between this video that I can tell you is the S21 Ultra is a whole lot smoother than the OnePlus 9 Pro. I don't know if I just had the shakes at the moment, but the S21 definitely looks a lot better when it comes down to motion video in that sense. But there you have it, guys. I mean, you saw it for yourself. That's the comparison when it comes down to pictures and videos. The video, the 8K, I really tried to get that for you guys, but I wasn't able to process the actual video. But I will tell you, looking at the video myself, the 8K on the OnePlus 9 Pro looked a whole lot better than it did on the Ultra. The Ultra kind of was jittery and it just didn't look as good as it did on the OnePlus. So I'll give the 8K to the OnePlus. But here's my thought, and how we're gonna wrap this up. When you have a phone in your pocket and you are thinking about, or you pick up a phone because of the camera, let's say, and you have it in your pocket, I think the one thing that you want is a phone that you can rely on, and is a phone that no matter what scenario you're in, no matter what circumstance you're in, you can take that phone out and you take the picture and you're okay, and you know you're gonna have a great picture. And I think that's what iPhone does really well. iPhone doesn't have the best camera, it doesn't have 108 megapixel. But what iPhone does is it gives you peace of mind that no matter in what circumstance you take out that phone, you snap a picture and it's gonna be a good picture. And that's what I'm gonna boil all this down to, is which phone would you prefer to have in your pocket that you can, with 100% confidence, take out and take an image and you know you took a good image? And to me, as of now, I'm gonna give it to the S21 Ultra. I think that the OnePlus takes amazing pictures. It's not that it doesn't take amazing pictures. It's the fact that the S21 Ultra gives me that comfortability that I can take it out, shoot whatever I'm gonna shoot, and I know it's gonna be a good picture. And if I need to fix it in post, I can. With the OnePlus 9 Pro, as you saw, in some instance, you had a good picture, in some instance, you had a whatever picture. So it's like, it's give or take. It's a hit or miss, and I rather have something that hits, you know. And so that's why I give it to the S21 Ultra. Now let's see. I did take all these pictures and I did do all these videos before there was a recent update on the OnePlus 9 Pro that did tailor the update to the camera. So they might have done something a little bit better on the camera. I'm gonna have to look at that and check and see if that actually worked. But as of now, again, the S21 Ultra did come up as a champion. I think that the OnePlus 9 Pro is good, but they definitely have some more work to do. But there you have it, guys. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that bell notification so you can get a notification every single time that we post a video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Manny signing out with one more review.